Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new, welcome. Now to get into today's video is something new. Well, it's my first time doing anything like this, and today's video is a tag. It's a PhD tag. So what we're going to do in today's video is answer a couple of questions. So stay tuned, grab a cup of tea or something, because it's going to be a bit long, it's going to be a bit juicy hopefully, and I can help you with your decision towards PhD, graduate school, whatever you're thinking about. So I've teamed up with a couple PhD students, graduate students on Instagram from the US, from Canada, from Africa, from the UK, and we've decided to do a tag. This was led by the thelitscholar. I'll leave all their YouTube channels and also their Instagram pages down below. So check out their channel and show them some love, subscribe to their channel. And if you're coming from their channel, thank you so much, and I hope you subscribe. Okay, so I'm just gonna be looking at my laptop. So the first question was from Franco P. Honey. I apologize in advance if I pronounce anybody's name wrong, but I hope you still appreciate my answers. How do you try to maintain quasi-healthy habits when you are overwhelmed with projects, applications, student organization, etc.? That question just hit the hammer on the nail, because that is what PhD, graduate school, undergrad, everything is really about: balancing your life and school and academics. And I think for me it's really interesting, because I'm at that point where I'm now trying to incorporate a healthy lifestyle and make sure I keep that balance, go to the gym, eat healthy, and do my schoolwork and meet my deadlines. And I know, like, speaking from experience as a graduate, as an undergrad, when I have these projects, I always tended to go back to snacks and unhealthy things, and that's when I wanted the most unhealthy things. But what has been working for me so far is meal prepping. I think that is very important. As a student, it would save you money as well, because you're not spending that much on buying food at school, at campus, but it also saves you time. But some people, like, they think about it and say, you know, why am I going to spend 4 hours meal prepping when I could just prepare every day? But when you think about the time that you're saving each 35 minutes, 45 minutes prepping a meal each day, you already have it, you know what you're going to eat. And a trick that I do is I walk with a lunch bag. Yes, like a little kid. I go to the office and I have my lunch bag and I eat what's in the bag. It has my snack, my breakfast, etc. So even if I am working late, I'm still eating healthy. So question 2 is from Caitlin and May 24. How to reset on those days when you're not feeling productive? Oh my god, darling, oh my. Unproductive days, but they just come around too often. And I think one way to reset is always to just take a step back. And sometimes it's important to just to listen to your body, because those days, sometimes your body and your brain is just telling you, look, I am too tired, I am exhausted, I can't get anything done. And what I find works is stepping away from work, because on those days, if you stay in front of the computer, if you stay doing your work, you end up spending 8 hours and your efficiency level is this much. You do the amount of work that you would have done in an hour in 8 hours. So I think maybe distracting yourself a bit, going for a walk, going for a swim, going to the gym, doing something that you love, watching a show, or even just resting. That is a good way to reset. And drink lots of water, because that gets my brain flowing. And I think another thing to be mindful of, if you're in an office, a classroom, a library, is your airflow. So in my old office for my PhD, because we just moved buildings, we would have the windows closed, and like by 2 p.m. my brain would be like stifling, suffocating, and then we open the windows, it's just like this wave of air and thoughts and just fresh vibes. So try and do that, just go for a walk, get your blood going, and step away, and don't feel too guilty about it, because sometimes your body just needs that. So question 3, this one is from absolutelyelisabeth. She's also taking part in tags, so check out her Instagram page and her YouTube channel. She says, how do you balance school demands against time with family and friends? I think it's very important, especially, it depends on if you're master's or if you're PhD, But as a master's student, especially in the UK, because everything is packed into 1 year. So in the UK, I'm studying in the UK, and I did my 2 master's programs here, and then I did my undergraduates in Barbados. But I think it's in your undergraduate, you have a bit more free time. As a master's student, especially in the UK, everything is condensed into 1 year. So it's kind of hard to balance everything, but as with everything else, you need to take that time away to just reset yourself, get yourself going, keep yourself motivated. Just speaking to your colleagues and your friends and your family keeps you motivated and helps you to remember what you're working for. But as a PhD student, I think you need to make the time, because every country system is different. So for me, I work on my own. I don't have classes to attend, and it could be very isolated. So it's important to talk with your colleagues, even if it's just the ones in your office or your family and friends. I personally set aside evenings for my family, because they're back in the Caribbean, so they're 4 to 5 hour time difference. And in the night, I speak to them. Every evening, I speak to my family. So it's just, you have to making a schedule and being effective and efficient in time management, which I'm still learning about. But I have been doing a lot of timetabling and so forth, and that has helped me. So I think timetabling, time management, and just telling yourself that you need to do it for your sanity is what you can do. Now, question, I think we're at 4, right? Grad perspective. What is one thing you wish you knew first year of grad school, and what do you do when you are bored between work? I think this is based on American system. So for anybody watching from the UK, we just say masters or postgraduate studies. One thing I wish I knew. So I'll start with my master's first. When I first started my master's program, I'm just getting thirsty. So when I first started my master's program, I wish somebody would have told me that it would have been so intense, like beyond anything I've ever done before. Coming from the Caribbean, I was entering into a different system, so into the UK system. If you are going to a new country with a completely different system, give this video a thumbs up, comment down below and tell me, how that experience was for you. But for me, I wish somebody told me, look, it's gonna be intense. And I kind of did a program shift, so from mathematics to engineering, and it was just like a lot of things I wasn't sure of, things that would have taken 3 months for me to learn. I was learning it in a week. So somebody told me, it's intense, make sure that you are ready and committed for that 1 year or 2 years in the case of the US. That's something, I guess, from on the master's level. The PhD level, I guess how lonely it could have been. So a lot of times, I would have been on YouTube a lot. I tend to use YouTube to answer a lot of my questions. A lot of the people who had channels, they were based in the US. So it's like, oh yeah, you have classes and stuff. But in the UK, it's really different. So you just work autonomously. And I wish somebody would say, oh yeah, it is a bit lonely sometimes. But you get accustomed to it, you make friends with your colleagues, etc. And to answer your second part of your question, what do you do when you're bored between work? Well, I have good colleagues in my office, big up Dylan and Chris. So we always joke a lot, and Dan, because he helped me out in the first couple of months. We always joke a lot, talk a lot, and I watch YouTube. And I started my YouTube channel, to be honest, as something else to do, as a hobby. I found that I enjoyed telling people, helping people, telling them about my experiences. And I was like, let me just share this journey. Somebody out there might like it, so might benefit from it. So I do YouTube. I film these types of videos. So give it a thumbs up. And I go to the gym a lot. So balancing my fitness and YouTube as well, they have been distractions between work, and I think those are a good balance, right? Health, fitness, PhD. Next one is Alberto Badu 5634. Trying to pursue a higher degree while having so much on my plate. Any advice? Well, first of all, I just say, it is great that you have that ambition. So don't let anything stop you and anybody stop you or tell you that you can't do it, because you can. I have colleagues who have kids who have a family overseas and they're still doing it, so you can do it. But my advice to you would be to really think about what you want to do. What are your long-term goals? If you're thinking maybe it's a master's program or a PhD, think about if you have family in that sense. Maybe think about the kids, and if you would have to move away, if that is a case, then maybe that's something important to consider. But other advice is just about trying to balance it, and if it's a PhD, be straight up with your supervisor from the beginning. Let them know, look, I have a family, this is how it goes. Maybe there'd be the option to work from home 3 days a week, or 4 days a week, and you just come in on the days that you need to meet them. It depends on your program again. But just really think about it, talk to your family members, but always remember what your passion and your drive is. And once you have that, you are going to get through everything. You can do it. A lot of people have done it, and you won't be left behind, and everybody's here to support you. I think I've enjoyed this community so far. We're gonna support you no matter what. My answers to the questions ended up being very long, so I'm gonna split this up into several videos. And what I'm gonna do is every Thursday you can come back and you can watch a bit, because I know we're all students and have stuff to do, so you can't watch a 20-minute video in one sitting, right? It should be productive. So I'm gonna do this every Thursday, and you can come back on Thursdays to watch that video. I think I'm gonna call it Thick Thursdays. Might continue after the PhD tag ends. But if you have any other questions, please drop them down below in the comment section, and come back next Thursday for more answers. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss when I tell you everything that you want to know but you didn't know from a grad student. Hey. Alright, bye. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up